Twisting is a great way to kind of detox and purify your body for several different reasons, but a lot is that the blood within all of your internal organs and your abdomen here kind of gets a little bit, I like to say, stale. Everything's still moving around, but when you twist the body, you kind of wring out the blood from all those places, and then when you come back, the new fresh blood comes running in. So it's a really good way for that detoxification. So we're going to start seated. If your knees are slightly lifted like mine and you feel like it's hard to sit up nice and straight without too much effort, it's nice to grab a block or a pillow or something like that and just go ahead and take it underneath your sit bones if you want to. Yeah, we'll just sit up nice and tall for a moment. Okay, you can rest your hands on your thighs and close your eyes just for a brief moment. And I want you just to simply focus on length. So root down through your sitting bones and elongate up from the lower spine through your mid-back and all the way out through the crown of your head. Every time you inhale, inviting yourself to find just a little bit more length. And on your exhale, start to find a little bit more strength in the lower abdomen as you kind of squeeze that place in the lower belly at the bottom of your exhale. Take 3 more breaths like that. Nice, and then blink your eyes open. We're going to interlace our fingers, and with a breath in, just turn the palms to face the ceiling, reach the arms all the way up over the head. Soften your shoulders. Again, root through the sitting bones, get nice and long. So in order to sit up really tall, you have to engage your core, right? You feel your abs engaging, so keep that, get nice and long. And on your next exhale, keep both sitting bones equally grounding down into the floor or to the block and start twisting towards your right. So what you'll find is that if you keep the weight in the hips even, you're not going to twist very far, right? And it takes a lot of effort in the core. And this is a really healthy twist right here because we're not compensating in the hips and we're not just caving into the most flexible place in our lower back. Our lumbar spine tends to be our most flexible. So we're isolating our thoracic spine. Take 1 more breath. And on your next exhale, slowly come back into center. You can release your arms out in front of you and press your palms forward, soften the shoulders, bring your chin towards your chest. Good, and then inhale as you reach those arms back up, lengthening again. Soften the shoulders, create that space in the waist. Inhale here. And then exhale, twist the opposite direction. Again, the weight stays equal down through both sitting bones. Belly button's drawing in. You feel the engagement in the belly working. Maybe you're a little bit tired. That's okay. Good. Inhale here. And exhale, come back into center once again. Good. Press those arms out in front of you. Relax the shoulders. Good. And then inhale, reach your arms back up overhead. And as you exhale, release your hands. We're going to twist towards our right. So right hand can rest behind you, fingertips on the floor, and the left hand can rest on the right thigh. And then make sure you don't over twist into that lower back, right? So try to keep isolating your thoracic spine by rooting down equally through both sitting bones. And then continue the twist with your neck. So you gaze over your right shoulder. You don't want to strain here, but your neck, your cervical spine, is still a part of your spine. So we want to continue the rotation all the way through the head. Good. With your next breath in, reach your arms up overhead. And then exhale, twist the opposite direction. And soften the thighs, try to lengthen through the crown of your head. As you exhale, try to squeeze your belly, maybe deepening the twist, not by compensating, just by a little extra engagement. Okay, breathe in, breathe out, and then inhale, reach those arms right back up overhead. Okay. And we're going to relax those arms down, remove the block, and come up onto all fours. We're going to end up using these blocks later, so keep them handy. Ground those hands directly underneath the shoulders. Line your knees up underneath your hips. And let's press down into the left hand. Take your right arm up towards the sky here. And then again, equally press down through both knees. And then maybe you can twist open through the right shoulder a little bit more. Lots of activation happening in the back. Inhale here. And then as you exhale, we're going to thread the needle here. Take the right shoulder down towards the floor. Good. And then you can rest the right side of your head down. Okay, our left hand can either just walk out in front of you for support, or if you'd like, you can take your hand back behind your back, your left hand. Okay. And we're just gently going to kind of play with pressing your hip bones back one at a time, creating some length through the waist. Take a breath in. And then slowly make your way back down through center. Ground through your left hand. Press down, come back up to neutral. Take one cat-cow. Okay, so drop the belly, inhale, look up, lift the tailbone. As you exhale, round your spine, chin comes into the chest. Good. Come back into neutral. Inhale, your left arm is going to reach up overhead. Again, the gaze comes up. Use your back muscles to pull the left arm back maybe a little bit more. Nice. And then slowly find the twist. We take our left arm underneath the right. Try to walk your fingertips out until the left shoulder comes down. Maybe the head rests on the floor. And then again, you can just rest this right arm down for support. If you feel a lot of pressure in your head, I definitely recommend that. If you feel all right, maybe you take that right hand behind your back, work on peeling that right shoulder open. Okay, and then again, try to keep pressing back through the right sitting bone especially. Take one more full breath. And then slowly unwind. Ground down through the right hand. Come back up to both hands. Let's take one more cat-cow. Inhale, drop the belly, look up, tailbone up, belly strong. Exhale, round your spine, chin to chest, tailbone down. Nice. Come back into neutral. Let's step the feet back right into our downward facing dog. And then from here, you can just pedal out your legs one at a time, swaying your hips side to side, and maybe shaking out your head and your neck. Awesome. And then slowly just start to straighten out your legs here if you can. If your shoulders are super tired, you can always just bend your knees, okay? Good. Nice, take a breath in. And then gently look forward and walk your feet all the way up to your hands. And you can bend your knees if you need to get them all the way there. Find ragdoll for a moment. Grab opposite elbows, sway from side to side. Shake out your head. Good. And then bend your knees a little bit and really just get really long through the top of your head. Good. Almost like you're feeling as if your spine is just totally weightless, like it's just hanging from your sitting bones here. Good. Inhale to your flat back, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, take your forward fold, chin to chest. Next inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms all the way up overhead, grow nice and long. And as you exhale, bring your hands into your heart. Good. Keep moving with the breath. Inhale, reach your arms up. As you exhale, bow forward. Inhale, flat back, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, plant your hands. We're going to step only our right foot to the back of the mat. Okay, and then line up your right fingertips in line with the left toes. Take your left arm towards the ceiling, so coming into a twist. And then push down into the right hand as you squeeze the right knee in towards the right shoulder. Sorry, left knee into right shoulder. And then peel the left shoulder blade back. That's it. Inhale here. Exhale your left hand down to the floor. Good. Ground both hands under the shoulders. Step your left foot back to your downward facing dog. Spread your fingers wide. Root through the knuckles. Lift your sitting bones and soften your heels. Nice. With an inhale, take your right leg all the way up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, step your right foot forward next to your right hand. Good. And then here, we're going to actually drop our back knee down to the floor, untuck the back toes. Okay. And then we're going to take our arms up into a low lunge, Anjaneyasana, so arms straight up overhead. From here, open arm twist to the right. So the right arm is going to reach towards the back of the mat, left arm reaches towards the front. Lengthen through the top of your head with your inhale. As you exhale, pull your feet towards one another, maybe deepen the twist, maybe look back. Good. Inhale again, lengthen through the crown of the head. Exhale, pull those feet towards one another. Good. Inhale back to center. As you exhale, both hands come down to the floor. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee up, and we're going to step to the top of the mat this time. Good. Inhale, flat back, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing, reach tall. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Good, let's do the other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. As you exhale, plant the hands. This time we're stepping the left foot back. It is the leg we just had back. That's okay. Left fingertips ground in line with the right toes. Right arm is going to reach up towards the ceiling. Think about pulling the right hip bone back, left hip bone forward, so we stay neutral in the hips like we were talking about before. Press into the left heel so you're engaging the left quad. Good. Inhale. Exhale, release the right hand down. Downward facing dog. Step the right foot back. Settle into the breath. Always checking in with yourself that you're breathing. Good. Inhale your left leg up. As you exhale, step your left foot forward to the top of your mat. Help it out if you need to. Drop your right knee down to the floor. Yeah, and again, we're going to just take our arms up, Anjaneyasana. Good, so hips stay super square to the top. Pull your left heel towards you a little bit, and then take that open arm twist towards the left. Good. Soften the shoulder blades. With an inhale, try to lengthen, get a little taller through the top of your head. As you exhale, pull your feet toward each other, twist a little bit deeper. Good. Inhale, lengthen again. Exhale, squeeze your belly, maybe take the twist deeper. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. As you exhale, hands come down to the floor. Tuck your back toes under, look forward, and then step your right foot to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Nice, yogis. Inhale, rise all the way up towards standing. Exhale, hands into heart center. Good. Keep moving. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, ground those hands, step back again. This time find your plank pose. Okay, take a big breath in. As you exhale, chaturanga, come halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. As you exhale, find your downward facing dog. Good. Big breath in through the nose. Big breath out. Nice. Inhale your right leg up. As you exhale, step your right foot forward to the top of the mat. We're going to bring our back foot forward about an entire foot, finding our pyramid pose. So the back foot is at a 45-degree angle, and we want to end up straightening out our legs here completely. So a great tool is to take blocks underneath your hands. And once you find this, I want you to draw your right hip bone towards the back of the mat and then try to tilt your tailbone up towards the ceiling. And as soon as you do that, you should feel this nice big stretch in the back of your right leg. Now draw the pit of the belly and lengthen through the crown of the head. You can either stay here with a nice flat back if you feel a lot of sensations in the right leg already. I encourage you just to stay where you are. If you want to go a little deeper and you feel comfortable here, and you can keep that length in the lower back, then maybe you bow forward. Okay, just invite some space to come into the back of your right leg. And as the sensations start to build, start to elongate your breath. If it's uncomfortable for you, notice how you're responding to that discomfort. Whether it's easy to get frustrated, maybe your initial reaction is to come out of the stretch. So just check in with yourself without any judgment. With your next breath, we're going to come back to a flat back. So lengthen your spine. Take your left block and left hand nice and close to the inside of your right foot. Bring your right hand to your hip. Press your right hip bone back, and then think about twisting your right shoulder open towards the ceiling. Okay, so a lot of activation in the belly. Top of the head is reaching forward. Maybe you extend your right arm up towards the sky. Yeah, see if you can continue the twist by looking up past the hand. It's a lot of activation in the back of the right arm and shoulder, and then notice your left foot. Push it down into the floor nice and strong. Take one more breath. With your exhale, maybe squeeze those thighs together, twist a little deeper. Good. And then release that right hand down. Beautiful, you guys. From here, walk your blocks forward. Bend into the front leg. You might need to slide it back just a little bit. Take your left leg up. We want that left foot parallel to the mat, so you can even look back and just check if that's there. Hips are nice and square. All right, here we go. We're doing something super similar to what we just did. Keep pushing into the left hand. Right hand comes to the hip. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Twist your right shoulder open. Maybe take the right arm up towards the ceiling. Okay, and this is hard because now we're balancing too. It's a lot of added core. Breathe in. Exhale, release right arm down. Nice job. Take your big toe mounds to touch at the top of the mat. Leave a little gap between the heels. And then inhale into chair pose. So sit your butt low, reach your arms high. Nice. Pit of the belly draws in. Heart sits a little bit higher. Good. Bring your hands into your heart. We're going to twist to our left. So right elbow will hook outside the left thigh. Pull that right hip bone back so the knee doesn't slide forward. We want these to be nice and equal. Then maybe sit the butt a little bit lower, but lift the heart a little bit higher. Nice, breathe. Squeeze the navel in towards the spine. Take one more. Good. And then inhale, chair pose. Keep the hips low, reach your arms high. We're almost there. Good. Breathe in. Exhale, forward fold. Nice job. Inhale to your flat back. Separate your feet hips distance apart. And take a fold. Maybe grab opposite elbows. Good. That was a lot of work. Take a few big breaths. Notice your heart rate. And take a long breath in through the nose. Big sigh out. And then come back into a flat back. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, plant your hands down. Step your feet back. Come right into your downward facing dog. Strengthen the quads, the lower belly. Just noticing the length in your spine. Good. Next inhale, take your left leg up. As you exhale, step your left foot forward. We're finding that same pyramid pose we did on the other side. So we're in that heel to heel alignment. Back foot is at a 45-degree angle, and then if you need to take those blocks into your hands, by all means, try to take those. Just adding that extra support. Okay, roll your right hip bone forward, left hip back, lift your tailbone, lift through the crown of the head. Okay, and then either just stay right here if this is enough, or find that forward fold over the left leg. Okay. One of the reasons why we take blocks here if you need them is because when the body is just kind of suspended up here and there's no support, it's much less likely that your muscles will release because they feel like they're holding something up. Right? So as soon as you offer extra support, it's actually a lot more likely that those muscles will start to stretch and soften. One more full breath in. Full breath out. Come back into a flat back. Lengthen your spine. Take the right block nice and close to the left foot. Roll your right hip bone forward. Take your left hand to your left hip. And then twist your left shoulder open. Good. Looking up. Maybe extend your left arm towards the sky. And then try to feel that your sitting bones are still square. Your hip bones are pointed straight down towards the floor. Nice. And then use your belly to twist maybe a little bit deeper, squeezing those inner thighs in toward each other. Inhale here. And then exhale, slowly release both hands down. Find your chair pose. So big toes touch. Heels are a little bit spread. And then lift your heart up a little bit higher. Sink your hips down a little bit lower. Good. We want to be able to see those toes, so just make sure you can see your toes. Bring your hands into your heart. Twist to your right, so hook your left elbow outside the right thigh. Pull the heart forward, and then press your left hip bone back. It's going to want to slide forward, right, to compensate in the hips. So pull your hip back, pull your chest forward, squeeze the belly. And then breathe. One more big inhale. Big exhale. Awesome, guys. Inhale back to chair pose. Hips low, heart high. Exhale, forward fold. Nice job. Inhale to your flat back. This time right away, just go ahead and plant your hands, step your feet back right into your down dog. Good. Soften the heels towards the floor. And gently drop your knees, find your child's pose. Just taking a moment to unwind. Notice the weight in the spine, the forehead, the hips. And then slowly walk your hands back in towards your knees. We're going to sit up. And then just take your legs out in front of you. All right, so we're coming into one of my favorite twists here. So we're going to draw the right knee in towards the chest. Turn the right knee forward, so the ankle's outside the hip. And then take your left knee in, nice and the foot will line up nice and close to the right leg, and then just open the hip out towards the side. Okay, so I like to have my foot actually touching my right thigh. The hands are gonna walk towards the left and then all the way back behind you. And you're gonna allow this right hip bone to lift up. Good. So if this is a deep enough twist for you, you might feel something in this right quad, hip flexor, maybe psoas, also in the left waist. If you wanna go deeper, maybe you drop your left forearm down to the floor. Maybe the right forearm comes down to the floor, but that's gonna get really deep right in here, right in the side waist and the right quad. So just listen to your body. You don't want to over twist without being supported. Right? So we want a little bit of engagement in the stomach. And if you feel like it's too much, definitely make your way out of it a little bit. This is a really nice stretch for your lower back, your hip flexors. Try to soften the muscles in your face, just checking in with the muscles around the lips and between the eyes. Take a big breath in. And gently make your way back up to your hands. Good. Come right back around to neutral. And just turn your right leg around so the soles of the feet touch each other. We're just going to scooch the feet forward a tiny bit so that you can squish your forearms underneath your shins. And if you can't quite do that, it's really not a big deal. You can just take your elbows towards your knees instead. And if you can, just lift the heart up for a moment. And as you exhale, work on bringing your forehead towards your toes. So again, nice stretch in the lower back. It's okay to round your spine a little bit here. Try to fully inflate the back body with air. With an inhale, come to a flat back. Keep your left hand where it is. I like to kind of cup the foot. Take your right hand to your right thigh. And then work on pushing your right thigh away from you as you lean into your left elbow and open up the right shoulder, maybe look up. Really nice stretch in the waist. Inhale. And exhale, release. Take the right arm back underneath the right shin. Again, cup the foot with the hand. We'll come right over to the other side. The left hand presses the left hip away from you. Peel the heart open, the left shoulder open. Good. And then slowly release. Nice. Come right back up to seated. And this time all we're going to do is take that left knee and turn it forward. Okay, to come into the twist on the other side. Maybe draw the right foot in to make contact with the left thigh. Lift your left hip up as you walk your hands back and to the right. And again, notice this side. It might feel a little bit different. Maybe you come down to the right forearm, maybe to the left forearm, maybe not. I actually have pretty severe scoliosis in my spine, so it's much easier for me to twist one direction than the other. And that's just something that you have to learn about yourself over time, as you'll start to have a much more intimate relationship with your body once you start practicing yoga regularly. So you start to notice which areas are more open or a little bit more tight. And then you just work with whatever you have to offer yourself. And then nice and gently just make your way back up onto your hands. Good. We're gonna just unwind here. You can untuck your left leg. Bring your knees into your chest and just rock all the way back onto your back. Nice. Just bring your knees in a little bit, rock from side to side. Take one hand to each knee, so right hand to right knee, left hand to left knee, and just press your knees away from each other, and then forward, and then bring them together and back in. So just making these nice big hip circles here. Okay, and then take them the opposite direction. Good. And then gently place your feet down onto the floor. Bring your knees out nice and wide. Supta Baddha Konasana. Just for a moment, take the palms to face up. Just feel how your spine is just completely supported. Envisioning a nice, long, straight spine on your mat. And then slowly just stretch your legs out one at a time, finding a complete Shavasana pose. Okay, so legs can get nice and wide. And just check in with yourself to make sure that you are as soft as you can be. Okay, so taking a moment to relax your face, relax your fingers and your toes. And just do your best to stay here for the next few moments, just simply practicing mindfulness.